So resume saved. There we go. Continue. Since the last episode, not much has actually happened. I haven't had much of a time to play, or much of a chance to play Kerbal. I did play a little yesterday to get reacquainted with things. I ran one tourist mission, actually the one where I had to like fly some tourists over K2. So I did that. And other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. I do have a new spaceship designed. This is for our first mission, which is to do the flyby of the moons for the tourists. Hey, Silas! Thanks for the resub. Right, so if I look here... Right here. Tourism Plus, multi-moon flyby with 4 tourists. So, I've got 4 tourists. We want to go to the moon, be below 100,000 meters, so 100K, and then go to Minmus, and below 30K. And that's it. So, that's the only requirement there. But, we also have... Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, we're not going to do the gravimetric scans of the specific positions. Here we go. Conduct orbital survey of Minmus. So we have to do an irradiance scan from high orbit, an orbital telescope observation from low orbit, solar particle observation from low orbit. At least 2 of those. So, I have a ship ready. I'm calling this one, this is the Space Bus 8X7K. And I'm calling it that because the 8X is how many tourists it can bring into space, and the 7K is its a general delta V. It's actually got 7.4 delta V. So here's the ship. It is, of course, for our tourist missions, over-designed. I hope it's got way more delta V than we need. It has, with max crew, we're not bringing max crew, but with max crew, it would have 315 days worth of food, water, and oxygen. It can go 2 days without electricity, without the solar panels working, which is more than it'll ever be eclipsed. It has a crap ton of solar panels, and I finally am working with a different parachute configuration so that it hopefully will land on its belly upon landing. In fact, I'm even considering putting some landing gear or something at the bottom. It shouldn't be required, although, you know what, it did just occur to me. I don't know exactly how fast this will be landing, so it may actually be a good idea to get some landing struts down. So we want to mirror mode, radial symmetry, or mirror symmetry rather. We want to put it down, I guess like that. Now, if we extend it, good. And then we'll get, I think I alt-clicked on the wrong thing. And then we'll get you, oh, we don't want to block the windows. Something like that. There we go. And then undeploy and undeploy. There we go. So hopefully it'll land gently on the belly part of it there. That'll be quite cool. Save that change. So we lost a tiny bit of delta V because of the extra weight. The aerodynamics I'm not too concerned with. I think that's going to be okay. This design does not have drogue chutes. Maybe, you know what? It wouldn't hurt. What the hell? Let's throw in some drogues. Just to be sure, you know? Now, it doesn't need too many. We are still in mirror symmetry, so we'll just throw a couple of drogues. Actually, I guess turn off mirror symmetry. We'll put the drogues here. Because it'll still sort of be landing butt down when the drogues are coming out. Where are the drogues? Right here. So they are going to be on their own. We'll drogue there. And then the rest of the chutes come, and it should go to sort of belly orientation once the rest of the parachutes come out. The rest of the parachutes have a lot more stopping power than the drogues. We've got a deployable dish over here and an omnidirectional antenna, just so we can relay some science back home. We've got a couple of science experiments here and here. These are all solar panels. We got 2 banks of batteries, which is a lot, a giant reaction wheel in the middle, and then we've got an octo-core here with a bunch of the universal storage modules, which have a variety of science experiments for us to run. And there we go. I think all the staging is correct, because I think I was doing some tests. I did some simulations, right? Because of the Kerbal construction time, I ran simulations to make sure it actually did launch. We'll hopefully recover the side things. This is an expensive ship to launch at $210,000, But most of the cost is in the top here, which is going to be recovered, so that's good. And hopefully the side boosters are all going to be recovered. The only bits we're not going to recover is a couple of fuel tanks and engine here, and a fuel tank and an engine there. Everything else should be recovered, which means most of our cost should come back. Cross my fingers. Let's build this puppy. All right, it has been added to my construction queue. Gentle landing in KSP. What heresy is this? I'm sorry, Son of Stig, to offend those sensibilities. You are absolutely right. So we're going to do that. I did put in a couple of, whatchamacallit, the contracts, the commitments over here, the strategies. 25% of all money and fame I make will now go to science, because I want to be able to grind through science a little bit faster. Of course, we still have a couple of bases out there. We've got a base on the surface of the moon and a base on the surface of Minmus that are currently crunching science, so there's going to be a lot of science coming from there with the delay. You can see here the next transfer window to Eve is in 83 days, and we're going to try to do that today. We'll see. Warp to completion of the space bus. This mission here may take a little bit of a while, but it's nicely challenging, so we'll see how it goes. Building a space bus. Still have that extra rescue ship in storage, although that only has capacity for one person. But it's nice to have it kicking around. Okay. Thank you. Delete on close. And we'll roll out the space bus to the launch pad, which is going to take a full day to do that. Sure, Beta Pig. You can always suggest for the future games. You can always tweet at me. Tweeting at me is probably a better way to suggest games for the future. Just, you know, putting things on my radar. Sometimes I miss the chat. All right, good. Let's lunch. So let me clear all. We've got. I actually edited the save to add in a bunch more subscribers as various Kerbals. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a non-experienced pilot. We're gonna go with Vlad the Glad over here. We do have a probe core on top, so it's okay that this pilot doesn't have that much experience. Plus, we have a lot of automation going on at this point. We've continued to unlock more technologies. MechJeb is getting smarter. Of course, we do have the flight computer as well because of remote tech, different things like that. Let's go ahead and throw in our tourists, which we have to bring, obviously. You, and you, and you, and then what we're going to do is fill the other container, actually, with just other people we'd like experience, because we're going to do flyby of a couple of planets here. We should get some nice experience points for these guys. So we'll bring 3 scientists. We got Out of Time. We've got Hendrik NL. I know you're here. And, oh, we're out of scientists. So we'll bring Pop Latte, an engineer, and Vordian, another engineer over here. I think that's going to be a pretty good setup. Let's launch. Hey, driver, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the party. Hendrik says, oh my god, I'm going to die now. And it might be a slow death out in the vacuum of space. Hopefully not, but we'll see. All right, life support monitoring. We do indeed have a full year of food, water, and oxygen, which should be like insane amounts of overkill. Delta V window we can bring down there, and we will use the ascent guidance in a moment, because we've done a lot of ascents at this point, and as long as we've got a good design, we're going to be okay. I suppose we will do the gravity scan. Sure. Transmit it right away. Not much science, but what the hell. And a surface hydrogen scan. These are new experiments that we haven't used yet before, and they're all part of the D-Magic system. There we go, and we'll transmit that data as well. Now, we're going to do something else that's insanely crazy. So let me go ahead and just quick save here. It's been bothering me that we haven't done an EVA in a low atmosphere yet. Every time we launch and every time we come in for a landing, it asks us about this. So we actually don't have that much delta V, or that much thrust weight ratio on launch here, 1.39. We're not going to launch that quickly and instantly. So what I'm going to do is as soon as we launch, I'm going to EVA with our pilot, Vlad the Glad, take an EVA report and put him back in. Hopefully before we're going too fast. This is why I quick saved. We'll rewind if that one F's up completely. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could do the rest of the flight without a pilot. No, that's not true, actually. We can't. The mission requires there to be a pilot. So, hey, what could possibly go wrong? And launch. And why are we listing like that? EVA report. Keep it. Board. Okay, that was a pretty crazy liftoff. I'm actually not sure we went so sideways. Sometimes one of the bits can get a little bit stuck in the launch pad, but there we go. We're going straight now. All right, tiny little EVA. We're not going fast enough for him to get ripped off from the G-forces. It's fine. Ironically, the ship straightened out as soon as we ejected the pilot. It was the pilot who was like, he was leaning on some controls, like, oh no, everything is awesome, everything is fine, no problem here, guys. Okay. So the mech jeb ascent guidance basically does exactly what we do every time. Starts the gravity turn around 100 meters a second, just slowly drifts towards the horizon. I mean, it's basically the same as when I'm using the flight computer and punching in some numbers over here. But hey, we got enough technology that we can automate just a scooch more things, which makes it easier for me to just talk. You still have to make sure the design's good. In fact, it's a little less forgiving of a bad design if you're hands-off, right? If you're hands-on, you can sort of compensate for different things. We got this. I've set the ascent profile to something relatively gentle over there, and we're going to try to get into orbit around 100 meters or kilometers. Bum, 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 bum. I should probably bring down the game volume a bit because we boosted it for the last game. There we are. I think there were a few more experiments that we could have run. There we go. Staging. Good. Tumbling away. They do have parachutes. The parachutes are set to open at 0.5 atmosphere, which should happen relatively soon. Hopefully those bits get recovered. That was the vehicle completion. We'll keep an eye on that over here and see if we get any alerts about the stage recovery, which should happen. There you go, getting above. You can see the edge of the atmosphere here. I love to see the curvature of the planet. This is a very cool little effect. All right, next stage. Oh, still a minute, 15 seconds. We're actually going to be in very, very high atmosphere before they break off. We should not be bringing them into orbit with us, though. They should break off before we circularize. We should, I think, circularize with this stage, though, which means there's a reason I didn't put any parachutes on this stage, because I think it'll just be stuck in space as debris. So was this low orbit EVA based on real-life experiments from NASA? Because I can't remember them doing this, Squall 18. Not that. I mean, if I wanted to do that safer, using KOS, the scripting system in Kerbal, it's very easy to build a hover script. So what I could have done, and basically my lander is basically very close to a hover script. Instead of trying to hover, it tries to maintain a steady, that by the end there, 2 meters per second descent. So changing that to do a hover mode would be very, very easy. And so what I could do is build something that hovers at around 100 meters with the probe core, and then at that point we could EVA out with our pilot, and that would have been a very safe and easy way to do it. But this was way more exciting. I think we can all agree. Now, I was going to say, I would like to rotate over like this before we detach the fuel tanks, because this will make it slightly less likely that they impact my ship. One of the things you want to do when you've got long boosters like this, put the separators at the top, because when they blow off from the top, and then because of atmospheric pressure and drag, they get pulled away from your ship. Whereas you pop them off on the bottom, the pressure will actually smash them into your ship. So this is pretty safe, and the safer even way to do it is to give it a little bit of a rotation like this. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, booster separation now. Very nice. Just looks gorgeous when it happens nicely like that too. Okay, apoapsis is now above 70k, so we are going to hit space. And when it hits around 100k, the mech jeb ascent profile will turn off the engine. It's a bit of a steep ascent. It could have certainly been a lot shallower, but this is perfectly fine. I think we've recovered some bits. Indeed, we did. Only 2/3 of the value got recovered from that debris. Oh, and some bits actually got scrapped. The second set that we detached, I think, got destroyed. No, they're still out there. So I don't know. Anywho, our apoapsis is now hitting around 100k. So we're just going to hover there. As soon as we get into space, it should auto-time warp to the place for circularization. Really nice little time-saving things. I do like it. Well, gosh, we still do a lot of things manually, and we did everything manually to get here, basically. Ooh, gravity scan. Yes, let's transmit that. Ooh, we need to actually extend our antennas. So first of all, nope. This one. Nope. Oh my god, why are you so hard to click on? Because the whole ship is still rotating. And time warping. Stop. Okay, stop the time warp. No, okay. Stop auto warp. Kill the time warp. Thank you. I'm going to activate you. And you are going to always be pointing back to Kerbal. Specifically towards mission control. Next, this antenna, activate. There. Now, I gotta find the stupid gravitron, which is right here. No, cancel. Review data. Oh my god, it's so hard to click on things when they move. Transmit that. There we go. We probably could have gotten more science. Make a script to extend the antenna. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do our Eve landing. Because with remote tech, there's like massive lag. I mean, we could turn off that option. Which, I don't know. Or we'll have to write a script. Alright, we are now circularized. Excellent. We still have tons of fuel left in the stage. Which is going to make turning and things annoying, but yeah. I did intentionally overkill this, so there we go. Meanwhile, the moon. So my first target is going to be the moon, and then we host the slingshot off of that and go to Minmus. We'll see how that works. So we'll set this as a target for now, not that I really actually have to pay attention to that. Oh, because of our shitty launch, we are very much off kilter for the moon. Wait. No, that's something else. Hold on. Ascending node, 0.2. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It could be a little bit better, but I'm not going to worry about fixing our inclination as is. So, what we're going to do... I mean, the moon... I could just go now. You know what? It's fine. Lock yourself prograde. We've got... Now I'll wait for the next one. Let me just fast forward a bit. The ship's not under acceleration. There we go. Ooh, more science. Transmit that back. Okay. So, right around here, add maneuver. So we'll do one full orbit first. And what we're going to try to do is slingshot around the moon. Well, we have to make sure we end up below 100,000. Transmit that. Focus you over here. Let me bring up... Oh, we did recover some stages. Cool. Okay. I need to bring up the maneuver node editor so that I can tweak this without, you know, just having trouble sliding things in the right place. Oops. There we go. 84, that is fine. And then it's going to slingshot us that way. It'd be nice if we could somehow hit Minmus with this slingshot. Now, I can make an adjustment over here. Now, by the time we get here, Minmus is going to be somewhere completely different. I think we're just going to have to do some wicked tuning. Once we're at the moon and we can get our patch conics going there, I think we'll have to adjust our path at that point. We do have a lot of delta V for some adjustments. And I think this is a fine start. More gravity scans. Okay. Oh, hey! Who is that? Battle Hunter! I wonder if you might capture an asteroid and mine it autonomously in an orbit around Jewel as a refueling station when you decide to explore Jewel and the many moons. Might not be a bad idea. At some point, we do have to start doing asteroid captures because we need to build a space casino. So we have to bring some asteroids home for refueling. That would be fun to do. All right, I think we're just going to take this particular move here. So we'll use the flight computer. We'll tell it, point yourself, maneuver prograde, and execute the maneuver when we get there, which is in 27 minutes. Okay, just turning towards the maneuver. And go ahead and speed up. We'll probably get a few more gravity pop-ups here as we go around. Yep, like that. Nice to pick up a little extra science along the way. Just around Kerbal. You never change the dashboard for Kerbal? Let me change that. Boom. Kerbal Space Program. Let's get that going on. Suspect more people will come looking for that than Tsiok. Okay. 14 minutes. We will jump out of warp and start executing the maneuver. Still a long ship going on here. Ooh, more gravity scan. Transmit that. Yay. This just feels like free science. I love it. I'm happy, actually, we did a full orbit instead of jumping out right away. It's giving us a lot more opportunity for this. It's only 6 per. But at this point, we've done what? Like 5, 6, 7? Probably enough to unlock a new tech. 6 minutes to go. 5, 4, 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Okay, under a minute. And time warp auto cancels. Facing the right way. Ignites the engine. We got a little bit of wobble going on because of the length and not much in the way of supports, but it should be okay. Am I going to set up a restaurant at the end of the universe? Yes. Except it's going to be in orbit around Kerbal. Because of space and distance and things like that.